Okay, so what is virtualization? Very simple. Okay, there is some find I find some definition. This is my PPT. Already I forward into the group. So guys, compulsory go through once. What are the types of PPT? Virtualization and I will forward if you want. I will forward the PPT which is I showed earlier also, and the definitions which is very easy for you. So that is you can follow. Okay, so what is virtualization? Very simple. It's a create a software based or a virtual presentation of application server storage and a network to reduce the IT expenses while boosting efficient and agility. And of course, I find another definition also, like a virtualization can increase IT agility, flexibility, scalability while creating significant cost savings. So those some things are there. In this PPT also, sir given another definition. Data virtualization is he is also given. There is a few two statements. Okay, IT is a technique. Is a technique to split a physical resources into many logical resources. Virtualization is a technology to transform a hardware resources functionalities into the software resources. Virtualization will bring down the capex involved on the spending the expenditure on the physical resources and a real estate expenditure on maintaining physical servers. So all the things are same only. Like, there is separate. So control A, control C. This is for a noting purpose only. So don't like whether you can able to read. Okay, so whether you can able to go through the PPT or not. Okay, but you can read it from here. Okay, so this is few statement which is more comfortable for you to speak at the time of interview or understanding. So you can follow the those statements. So nothing is a very higher. Okay? Nothing is low. Nothing is higher. Okay. Here is also I given a statement. So that is also will copy. Mm, here is my notepad. So here it is. Let's see. Mm. So whole understanding of virtualization is very simple from what we know. From what we know. What we know about virtualization, guys? Anybody? Tell what do you know about virtualization? Not it of definitions and all. Just what are the things you seen in a virtualization? Anyone? Tell me what it is.
In virtualization, we can operate multiple OS.
Very good. Very good. That's the first point. Good. Very simple, right? It is my server operating system, my Windows 10 operating system, and this is my Linux operating system, and this is my VMware ESXi. Okay, so this is my XP operating system, 2012 operating system, 2003 operating system. It means in a one single PC, I can able to create and run multiple operating system based on my single physical hardware. Single physical hardware. If you see, this is 1 GB RAM, and this is a 2 GB RAM. This is a 2 GB RAM. This is a 4 GB RAM. This is some 2 GB RAM. And if you see multiple hard disks physically, These hard disks are not connected in my physical machine, but virtually it is there. So that is the main power of virtualization, to understand and based on what we know. Based on what we know, so that's, we don't know so many things, but based on what we know, so we can understand virtualization very simple. And here in this statement also it is given the functionality. That is a very good word to tell. The virtualization is a technology transfer hardware in resources functionals into software. So that is one word, but here, what is virtualization? By functionality, by the functionality, it works as a physical one only. Very simple. You install a Windows 10 and server, and in a server you install a Active Directory, DHCP, DNS. In a client, you got IP address from DHCP server. You create a user in the server and you log in a client. But in a reality, you have to buy two machines and you have to install one machine server, another machine Windows 10, connect with the switch and configure IP address, like that you have to do it, right? But same thing you've done in a virtual machines also, right? But so very simply say, by functionality and access work like a same as a physical one only, but it is software defined one, so we can get a multiplicity of hardware resources. You will get it. It's a simply a software based version of a resource or a thing, okay, we can say. Okay. um, so very good. Okay. And there is a one more point here. It is, this is my physical machine. So, and I have a operating system that is called a operating system only. Okay, my operating system or a local operating system. But if I have a operating system in a virtual machine, that is called a guest operating system. And to create and run these virtual machines, I'm not purchasing separate physical machine. I am using my physical machine, and I created multiple virtual machines and a different type of operating system I'm running. So that is very good answer. Okay. So multiple answers, very good. And what is the advantage of this kind of stuff? Okay, what is the advantages? So we'll see that what is the advantage of using virtualizations. So here it is: reduce the capital and cost, operating cost. Okay, so I no need to buy two virtual two physical machines. So I can run those physical machines as a virtual machine in my physical machine. So it is very simple, right? Each machine I have to put at least 25-30,000 rupees of cost on each machine. Now it is not required. So very simple, in my existing physical machine I'm running two machines for my basic practicals or a class purpose. It reducing a cost and operating cost also. Okay, so separate power supply we have to design, separate backup power supply you have to design, right? Again, monitors, connections, switches, plugins. So totally the overall cost will high. Okay, same thing here it is. Virtualization will bring down the capex, means capital expenditure. Okay, involved on a spending expenditure on a physical resources. Okay, on and real estate expenditure on a maintaining physical server. If you have a physical machines or physical servers, so the cost of maintaining of that one is also very high. Minimized or eliminated downtime. If my physical machine is running and also virtual machine is also running, right? So obviously, you have to maintain main physical machines are very less, then you can run multiple machines there. Increase IT productivity, efficiency, agility, and responsive faster provisioning of applications and resources, greater business and continuity and disaster recovery, simplified data center management, and software defined database, and availability of true software defined data center. What is software defined data center? Okay, so that is another question is, Normally, guys, first of all, understand a data center. Data center is not a single server. Okay, it's a combination of multiple servers, like a blade servers, rack servers. Like this is a rack. In the rack, I have a multiple blades like this. Okay, this is a rack server. So this is a rack, not a rack server. I have a multiple blades. Okay, you want to see the blades in the data center also, you can type very simple. Go here, type blade server, not blade server, blade server. So see, this guy is inserting a blade. If you see, this guy is inserting a blade. Okay, Rackspace is one of the cloud service provider and data center management. This is totally one rack. In this rack, there are several blades are there. Okay, so it depends upon organization company. These are all single blade. This is a single blade. Okay, these are a storage connection. So there's four slots are there. See, this is a blade. Okay, so this is a data center where he is inserting into the data center like this. Also, you can see this is a data center. Okay, so it is a combination of servers, s- storage management, okay, routers, switches, network connections, like that. Okay, also storage base, routers, switches, connections. So in this one unit, we can, it may contains servers, storage unit, routers, switches, like that. Similarly, we can have multiple data centers like this. If you go to the, if you google it, like a Google data center, if you Google data center, you can see the images of Google data center also, like this. See, so there is a thousands of servers, their connections, and multiple things are there, and not this one, I think. Okay, like this. So these are separate units. See, okay, so these are the data centers. Point is, that much, that is a physical data center also we can create or manage in a software defined data center. Like this is a storage, like a virtual storage is virtual SAN, virtual NAS kind of stuff also we can able to create and manage with a virtualization. Okay, so that is the main benefit of virtualization. These are the types of virtualization. These are the types of virtualization. Main important virtualization types are server virtualization, desktop virtualization, network virtualization, application virtualization, storage virtualization, user state virtualization, presentation virtualization. Okay, so very importantly, five virtualizations are important: server, desktop, network, application, storage. These five are very important because of user state or user experience virtualization, presentation virtualization are very old virtualization technologies. Currently, maybe it is not considered as a virtualization, but still okay. Type okay. Server virtualization, network virtualization, desktop virtualization, application virtualization, storage. Actually, I think by mistakenly I put a network virtualization in a part. Actually, I created a notes for this one also. I we copy pasted or typed some notes there. It is a correct. By accidentally I changed this one. Server, desktop, network, application, and storage. These five are a very important virtualizations. Here it is a server virtualization. Server virtualization enables multiple operating system to run on a single physical server as a highly efficient and virtual machines. Okay, server virtualization enable multiple operating system on a single physical server as a highly efficient virtual machines. So what is this? We'll see. So last, that means only two things I want to tell. That's it, guys. Look at here. If you listen very carefully now, so it is very easy for me tomorrow. So look at this one. This is my physical server. Physical server means it contains hardware, physical hardware, like a CPU, okay, like a CPU, RAM, disk, hard disk, and of course storage like a iSCSI storage or any centralized NAS or SAN storages. Usually SAN kind of storages for a central storage purpose that is there. So what is this? Is my hardware resources. This is my hardware resources. On the hardware resources, we are going to install something like a hypervisor. We are going to install something like a hypervisor. What is this hypervisor? Hypervisor is a very simply say virtualization platform. Okay, hypervisor is a virtualization platform. What is this virtualization platform? It virtualize our hardware resources. Virtualize our hardware resources. So that is virtualization platform. It means virtual CPU from our physical CPU, virtual RAMs, virtual hard disks. We can take it from our physical resources only. Okay, and another point is how to install it. How to install it because of hypervisor has its kernel, own kernel, and hypervisor application. It has own kernel. So then, what is the use of kernel, guys? What is the use of kernel? I think people are dead. What is the use of kernel? Anyone? Linux is started. I know.
It is responsible to execute the user commands.
Execute user commands at which level?
Assembly level.
Simply,
Hardware and operator.
you're telling something operator hardware.
Assembly level language.
Yeah, assembly level language and kernel. What kernel will do?
Manage the resources.
Very good. Okay.
Manage processes. Provide basic services for all the other parts of the OS.
Very good.
Deals with for
Very simply say kernel interacts with your hardware. Kernel is a
interface between hardware.
yes,
That it
between
translates
hardware and your
further
shell.
translates. Interface between OS and hardware.
Yeah, it's a part of OS only, and it is mainly interface between your hardware and operating system shell, right? Operating system, or you can say operating system. Shell is a Shall I say
Translators,
interface wise only tell me. Shall I say interface between
user and kernel.
user and kernel, or user and operating system, or user and a kernel. Very good. So hypervisor has its own kernel and it interacts with the hardware and it virtualizes the hardware, and it contains some shell to interact with the user also, of course, that we will talk. Okay. So this is, yeah. I will ask questions from anywhere, guys. No all. Okay. Like that only we can able to remember and we can learn. Okay. We have to relevant everything. Everything is same. Everything is connected. Okay. Not separate. Okay. Of course, separate but interconnected. Operating system, right? So it is a hypervisor layer. So hardware, hypervisor. This hypervisor virtualize my hardware, so then I can create and run multiple virtual machines in the single physical server. Single physical server, I can run, I can create and run the virtual machines. So this is called a server virtualization. Then what is this hypervisor? It means I said hypervisor and I told it is a virtualization platform. It is a kernel. It is interacts with the hardware and it virtualizes your hardware resources. Then someone should tell us some model, right? So I said operating system is a general terminology. What are the operating systems? Like a Windows, Linux is an operating system, right? Operating system is a general terminology, but Windows is operating system, Windows Server is operating system, Linux is operating system, Ubuntu is an operating system, Android is an operating system, iOS is an operating system. It's a type of operating system. So this hypervisor developed by different organizations. So we'll see once who develop these different organizations, what we call them. If you have a Windows system, okay, Windows Hyper V, Hyper V is a Hyper V is a from Microsoft, not Windows. We should say Microsoft, because Windows is a operating system. Windows operating system, Windows, either Windows 10 or Windows Server. Windows is particularly meant for operating system purpose. Microsoft is a whole organization. Okay, Hyper V is a hypervisor from Microsoft. VMware, VMware is an organization develop vSphere. vSphere. Okay, vSphere is a product. Actually, vSphere is a product, and hypervisor platform is ESXi. Current version is 7. Current version is 7. Okay, current version is 7. Okay, Linux or a Red Hat base. You can say Red Hat base also there. Okay, so Linux commonly KVM. It's a free one, so you can use anyway QEMU. So this is the from Linux freely you will get it. This is also considered as a Hyper-V, but Red Hat has a special one. From Red Hat, RHEV, Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization, that is also there are providing. Okay, from Proximox, it is a mainly not is Proximox is a open source platform. So it is a name is Proxmox VE. It is a open source. You need to pay to the VMware and all. It is you have to pay. It's a community development. Proximox, Proxmox. So this is community development. Okay, these are the different type of hypervisors.
So can we install Android in VMware?
Android in VMware, vSphere. It's a
Yes,
platform,
sir.
but no, no, no. I think we can't do it. It's not a virtual
And sir,
machine, right? It is.
like sir, how we install 2016 server? That's like
So, like you are installing 2016 server,
yes, sir.
Android, if it is allow to install as an operating system background directly on a machine, then you can install.
No, sir. I I checked, but I didn't find option Android
Yeah, yeah,
there.
yeah. It is not there because Android
Yes.
is actually say Android is an application, not even an operating system properly.
Okay,
Yeah, the kernel we have to verify this complete Android. Okay,
sir.
tell me. Type of hypervisors in a server virtualization. Specifically, I said server virtualization. Why means I will tell. So here in this model, we don't have any specific operating system. In this physical machine, in the physical server, in my server, you don't install any operating system on this hardware. You install in the VMs. You create a VMs and you install a OS in the operating system and you install applications in this one. Like that, you create a virtual machines as per your requirement and you install a operating system and install a applications. Okay, like this. You create a virtual machines, install OS means you install Linux, Windows, or servers, like that you can install and you can run application or a service based on that. So this is the main purpose of your server virtualization. Okay, so here it is. For example, I am running a 8 virtual machines because of my RAM capacity is very good. So I'm running a 8 virtual machines here. So instead of purchasing 8 machines, I'm running 8 virtual machines in a single physical server. So support to hardware is there. That's why able to run. Okay, it's that's why we can able to reduce the cost. But how to reduce the cost? What happened to the reduce the cost? Guys, see here it is. i3 processor, i5 processor, i7 processor, or i9 processor. These are the latest model, very costly processor like i7 and i9 processors are there. But still, they are not equivalent to server processor. These are suitable for desktop or laptop purpose only. It means for a personal computer purpose only. But for a servers, we use Xeon type of processors. Xeon type of processor. You look at so history of pizza. So pizza day or what? This is Xeon processor. Just I put a Xeon, but not a number. But if you go to the very old style, okay. So this is a very old processor or a very weak processor. Either it is, but you can see this is also something cost is there. Okay, this is 6 core processor. 6 core processor. Okay, like that you can see, or you can go to the just the details of Xeon processor from Intel. Also you can go, so multiple type of Xeon processors. I'm going to E series. The different series are there. You can look at 12 MB cache, 16 MB cache, 8 MB cache, 12 MB cache, 16 MB cache. Okay, 8 core. These are number of cores: 8 core, 6 cores, 8 cores, 16 cores will be there. Also, you can find it. Okay, I'm going with a something which is like a 8 core processor, like this. It's a very low level processor, but still you can see the range. See, total cores are 8, and it is a total threads are 16 processor, and cache is a 16 MB for each processor, supporting 128 GB RAM for a processor. These are a basic processors only, but still there is a very higher processor. These type of model processors, we use it for a. So where is this model? Yeah. Search in Google, find out cost of this processor. Okay, search for a cost of this processor. Any people we give the cost. So he's giving, someone is asking Xeon processor, that's a model is giving like this. So the cost is very high, and the RAM and a hard disk, motherboard, power supplies, everything is cost increases from processor to RAM and everything. And also RAM we use 64 GB RAM, 128 GB RAM, 256 GB RAM, like that only. We don't use 8 GB, 4 GB RAMs for a server anyway. So what happened? The cost of hardware increases. So in like that, if you want to keep 8 systems, 8 servers, 8 physical machines you want to maintain, the cost increases, right? But here it is one time purchase, you are maintaining multiple, you are creating multiple virtual machines, and we can able to use them. Okay guys, understand? Understood? Completely out of order? Not completely out of order? I will tell just only one last story. Then why I told this hypervisor names, I will tell. This is a machine. Okay, this is a machine, means a physical machine, just like my laptop. I'm using an application like a VMware workstation, or maybe Oracle VirtualBox, somewhere it is located. Here it is. This is a Oracle VirtualBox, or you can use VMware workstation. Okay, so using that, I can able to create virtual machines. I can able to create virtual machines. So this is not a server. This machine is just normal my desktop only. This is my normal desktop, and I have a hardware, right? So I have a hardware, right? I have a CPU. Currently I have a i5 third generation. Okay, RAM is around 12 GB, because I added a 4 plus 8. Okay, already 4 is there, I added a 4 plus 8. So totally 1.5 terabytes, means two hard disks are there. 500 plus 1 terabyte totally space. This is my hardware details. Okay, so this is my hardware details currently. Now on hardware, what I have installed, what is running in my laptop, guys? Operating system running. Which operating system? Windows 10. Okay, operating system is running. Now I want to create a virtual machines. I want to create virtual machines in my physical machines. So in my physical machine, so it will be interact with my hardware and runs and do it. For example, this is my Linux, this is my Windows server, this is my Windows 10. Okay, so like that I create a virtual machines. For example, VM1, VM2, VM3. Okay, to create these virtual machines, what to do? Anyone? Normal scenario, I have a laptop, I have a hardware, I have operating system. Now I want virtual machines. What to do? Download,
third party application.
yes. Download third party application like a VMware workstation or a virtual box, virtual PC, like that any application is there, we can able to download. Okay, so using an application like this, hypervisor applications, not hypervisor as a OS, hypervisor based applications, we have to download or download, install, and on this using this application I can able to create virtual machines. Very good, guys. So this application provide so it virtualize my hardware, and then based on this I can run my virtual machines. So this application managing both my hardware, so like a virtualization, software based virtualization it is providing, so I can run the virtual machines. Okay, and my virtual machine using my hardware resources, but application runs based on my operating system, because any application running in your system based on your operating system only. Application won't run directly on your hardware, it runs through operating system only. Okay, so it is depends upon my base operating system to run these virtual machines. Okay, to manage these virtual machines. So this is another type of virtualization. So some people will tell this is a desktop virtualization. So desktop virtualization, so this is a server virtualization guarantee, but some people tell it is a one type of desktop virtualization. But here, hypervisor applications. What is this? Hypervisor applications in this one. I forget to tell, not forgetting, this type of virtualization, server virtualization running directly on a physical machine without having any specific operating system here. That type is type 1 virtualization. Type 1 virtualization. So server virtualization also called as type 1 virtualization, and also called as bare metal, because virtual machines are running directly on your hardware. Okay, not based on a some operating system in between. So that is called a bare metal virtualization. And already I told some type of hypervisors. So what are the hypervisors I told from Microsoft? Hyper-V,
Hyper-V.
VMware is a more powerful than any other. So vSphere more popular and more powerful than any other. So vSphere ESXi and highly secure. Next one is important. Next important one is a Proximox. Is a Proximox VE is a open source type. Of course, other types also comes with operating system like a Linux. No. Better I will tell Red Hat first. Red Hat RHEV, Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization. Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization. Okay, so not only this, maybe there is some more will be there. Next, this is a normal desktop with some operating system. Because of I installed some application, I'm getting virtualization feature. I'm getting virtualization feature. This type of virtualization we call this a type 2 virtualization. Type 2 virtualization. Next. This is not don't have any bare metal kind of stuff. Application based virtualization you are getting, not bare metal. It is application based virtualization you are getting. Okay. Next, so the hypervisor applications. Okay. So these hypervisor applications to create a virtual machines are from VMware. No, from VMware workstation. Okay, VMware workstation. Also, if you want to add a name kind of stuff, okay, leave it. It is good. Otherwise, both will mix up. VMware workstation from Oracle. This is the free edition from our Oracle is free. VMware workstation is you have to pay amount. Okay, so VMware Player is okay. That is a VMware workstation and VMware Player. Player is a free edition. Oracle VirtualBox. Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, from Oracle. You can use it. That is a free edition. And Microsoft. Now it is not there. Discontinued one. So Virtual PC, because someone told Virtual PC is there. So don't believe in that one because it is a disconnected. It works only XP, Vista, Windows 7. So not other than that one. So these are the main applications are only to VMware Workstation or a VMware Player. Player is a free edition, and a workstation is you have to pay for that one. Okay. Next one is Oracle VirtualBox. Okay. So what is this VirtualBox? Is from Microsoft Oracle, giving a application for virtualization purpose. Microsoft Virtual PC is discontinued, not works from Windows 8 onwards, only up to Windows 7 only. Okay, of course there is a few more things are there to tell, but this is Type1 virtualization, bare metal virtualization, server virtualization. We use directly hypervisor on the hardware. So different hypervisors are Hyper-V server. Actually you should write as a server, not Hyper-V server. Latest version is 2019 and 2022 has to be released or not we have to verify. Next, VMware vSphere is a from VMware organization, and Proximox is a open source virtualization platform. Red Hat also giving a Red Hat Enterprise Virtualization. In mid between these two things, also there is a intermediate virtualizations are there, like a Linux kernel virtualization. So that's why I'm writing here. It not comes under anything. So Linux KVM or QEMU. So this is not a type 1 or a type 2, but it comes with operating system. Okay, comes with operating system. Means you got a Linux operating system, you'll get this feature. You got a Microsoft. No. Microsoft only, just Windows 8, Windows 10, 64-bit. Okay, or a Windows 2008 from 64 till date. Okay, you'll get Hyper-V. And what is the condition here? Compulsory Pro or Enterprise, not in a home editions. Okay, and also compulsory verify from 2008 64-bit, because 2000 had 32-bit, 64-bit is also there. 2008 R2 it's a 64-bit only. 2012, okay, 2016, 2019, of course 2022, that is you can check it. Okay, so these are all slash R2 better release 2, that is also having Hyper-V future along with operating system also you are getting this thing. Okay, so that is why we have to put this thing in some border or some color. Okay, this is type 1 virtualization, type 2 virtualization. So also type 2 virtualization we can call it as a desktop virtualization, but not complete desktop virtualization. Is up to here only. And where I written, so this is the type 1 virtualization hypervisors are bare metal virtualization. It is not type of virtualization. In server virtualization also called as type 1 virtualization and type 2 virtualization also there. So generally that is comes under desktop or type virtualization. It's an application based up. Okay. Anybody will prompt something to make it easy for me. VMware workstation. So that's why don't say I worked on a VMware. Tell VMware workstation application. Okay. Oracle virtual
Virtual
box.
box.
Very good. Microsoft virtual PC by only XP Vista 7 only. Last is 7. Okay. So when I got a Windows 8 for first time, I tried to install virtual PC again and again. Not working. And hypervisors OS in a Linux will get KVM and QEME. It is a free. We'll get it. Actually, this is compulsory. Check once more. Okay. Next, from Microsoft Windows, we'll get a Hyper-V from Windows 8, Windows 10. Compulsory 64-bit must be there. Um, but if in case if you have a 32-bit Windows 8, 32-bit or 64, 32-bit Windows 10, you'll get a only Hyper-V management, not a platform. Okay, you'll get a Hyper-V. Windows 2008 compulsory 64 because it contains the two things. 2008 R2 it's a 64-bit only. So you are 2012 and 2012 R2. Next to 2016 and 2019 22 is also there. Okay, and of course Pro edition or a enterprise edition of a Hyper-V. Of this one only you will get a Hyper-V. Okay. So some people said from Windows 7 onwards Hyper-V is there. Okay, some Windows Home Hyper-V is there. Still I didn't get it. Okay, even I'm using Home, I don't have a Hyper-V. Okay, so that is hypervisor with operating system. Along with operating system, you are getting. So here in a Linux does not mean just a Linux. It is enterprise Linux. 6, 7, 8, 8 is also there, but enterprise Linux 6 or 7, you will get a QEMU. 5, I exactly not confirm with the 5 is there or not. Okay, enterprise Linux means Red Hat Enterprise Linux. Okay, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Saint OS 6, Saint OS 7 may have this one. So you have to verify. Okay, guys, that's it about your virtualization first point. And guys, uh, Here, just yesterday I forwarded some pictures, right? Instagram. Okay, I downloaded the pictures and I put it here in Achal. Achal will forward those pictures. I thought it is very easy and simple, so you can also follow that one. Okay.